So I'm sort of well known for being a rugby player, getting to week 9 and Strictly Come Dancing. If you still don't know me, I'm married to Gabby Logan, my husband. And I suppose that's when it starts. I mean, when I was a young boy, 6-year-old, I felt like every other 6-year-old kid running around playing football, playing rugby, doing all the sports. And as you grow up at school, you take little things for granted, and education for me was, you just expect it to happen. You don't expect it to be hard, you just think you're going to be able to read, because your mum and dad can read and your mates can read. But at 7-year-old, I started realising I was slightly different. It wasn't the fact that I was going to play rugby for Scotland, it was the fact that I struggled with reading. I got stressed about it. I just thought I'd maybe catch up with other kids, but as they were flying off, I was still like, the 7-year-old boy was still here, but I was 10, 13, 14, but this little guy here was never grown up. And it was hard, because you felt that somebody was inside me but you couldn't get out, but you were this grown up boy, 13, 14-year-old. And when you're at school and nobody understands what you're going through, I think the great thing now, there's so many opportunities for dyslexic children, because there are organisations like Dyslexia Scotland and there's libraries like this are understanding that kids at 6, 7-year-old have got problems. And for me, that never really happened for me. I went to a private school to start off with, most unhappiest days of my life. So my mum moved me to state school, went to state school, a bit happier for me. But still, I was a very frustrated young boy, but I still, I was a farmer. People looked at me, as a farmer would be all right. But I then would hear teachers saying he's just a bit stupid, just a bit thick. And people who say that, you hear it, it really kills your self-esteem. And for me, at that period in my life, my self-esteem was really low. That I would never give up, and I would always turn up to school, even though it was like turning up to a prison sentence, because it was the hardest thing in the world to go in, but it made me what I am now. I didn't give up, I turned up, and I took whatever was going to be put in front of me. And I think now the great thing with the schools now and the charities is they embrace the problem. If you're 6 or 7, we can talk about it. And you know what, I wasn't brave enough to talk about it. I wasn't brave until I was 30-year-old to say, you know what, I can't read. I look back now, I wish I was 6-year-old and I was brave enough to go, you know what, I can't read, I'm actually quite bright. I'm probably cleverer than you, and you. Not you, talking in the classroom. So the frustration disappeared. I look at kids now and they feel maybe, oh, I can't read, but Richard Branson can't read. Bill Gates can't read. Reading is important. It's how you cope with it, it's how you move forward. I did my book a couple of years ago, and I started the journey of when I was a little boy, and I got halfway through it and I stopped. I got really upset. Maybe say when I was 26, 27, I wouldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about it. Because I wasn't brave. You guys in here, maybe some people that are dyslexic and older people, be brave and tell people, because it's not to be ashamed of. I'm the best day of my life, having kids and playing for my country, but see, when I told people, the burden off my shoulders just felt, it was unbelievable. I can't tell you what happened to me, in my stomach. And then I met my wife. Within 4 weeks, she realised I was dyslexic. I think I gave it away because I sent a text saying, "I'll speak to you later, sweat heat," rather than sweetheart. I'm still convinced it wasn't sweat heat. And she's quite sharp, my wife. And so a couple of weeks later, she said to me, there's big 2-page spreads in the paper. She says, "Oh, read this." No, in fact that was before the sweat heat bit, because I would never text MD. And I probably practiced that sweat heat for ages. I opened that paper and there's a big spread, and they don't know that we were going out with each other at the time, because it's still sort of keeping it, just getting to know each other. And I opened it up, and it's all about a career and gymnastics, and a dad coaching Wales and losing it, because Gabby lost her brother when he was 15 with a heart condition. So it was all about our gymnastics and our broadcasting. So it was a lot of reading. So I'm thinking, how long was it like that? only so many pictures you can look at. And they weren't that interesting either, pictures. So I went, that's great, it's a great read. First thing, you're a quick reader. Slightly. So I went, let's get a cup of coffee. Normally that would just, she'll go, yeah, normally that would happen. She would go, no. So this is 3 weeks into meeting Gabby, and I know she's the one for me. She's my soulmate. She's one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. So when I first met her, I knew that I'd marry her. I knew that this person, she felt the same. I can say that she's not. So I felt a real bond with her very early on, and she said to me, "Are you dyslexic?" I went, "No." She went, "Read that," and I went, "I can't," and I started, so I'm 26 at the time, so I start crying, because she's not talking to me, she's talking to this little boy inside, and she gives me a hug. My next question to her was, "Do you still want to go out with me?" Oh. Because I felt that she would because I would be thick. We sat down and talked about it, and I felt better talking about it. I'd never ever told a girlfriend before, and she said, "Well, why do you not do something about it?" And I was like, "No, I'm not doing anything about it." And she was very tactful how she did it. She would never speak to me about it when I was playing rugby. She would always wait until we were on holiday and say, "Right, come on. If somebody said you're not going to do something, you're going to prove them wrong. If somebody gives you a challenge, you will always give them more than that. So why, there's one thing that is hurting you inside, why do you not do something about it?" And it took a long time. There's a programme about balancing and stimulating your brain. So I went on it and I did it. But I went there pretending I had a child, because I felt vulnerable. I'm sitting in this chair with like 8, 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds. Yeah, I'm a kid. And I was really, it wasn't humiliating at all. And I went through the course, and it helped me. But the best thing that helped me was that I was true to myself. The course really helped me, because there's so many things out there now for children. There's so many different things to help children. Even when I did it, which was almost 10 years ago actually, there was 1 or 2 things, and everybody's trying to jockey for position. There's loads of great things out there to help children. And I think if you understand the child, your own child or your husband or you, it helps you process how you feel and how they feel. And when I went through it, I then came out and told people, because I was proud that I was dyslexic. I was proud of the fact that I could speak about it. And the amount of phone calls, "Kenny, is that why you used to get me to do the phone?" Yeah. I can't believe it. They were devastated. They didn't. And then I remember going, it was 2003 World Cup, and I'm sitting with Gregor Townsend, and Gregor said, Ian McGeechan came up to me and says, "Kenny, can I have a word?" And I said, "What is it?" He goes, "Have you been taking stuff?" I went, "Oh?" He goes, "Because I've never seen you play as well in the last year, and the way you're playing now, you're talking better, you're eloquent, you're happy to stand up in front of the team. You come to every team meeting first." And that was the thing. I always wanted to be first, but I couldn't, because I couldn't sit there. I would go in first and go, "Paper's right." Hang around somewhere else. I was always in before then to check what was in the team room. And so then he knew about the dyslexia. I told him the story, and he said, "Right, you've got to tell people, because this is." So then it all came out and told loads of people, did loads of TV stuff and talked about it. I felt really good telling people that I was actually, my biggest achievement, I've had my children are the biggest achievement, and meeting my wife and playing for my country is brilliant. But taking this little boy to, he's 80, I don't know what age he is now, but he feels normal, sometimes I do act like an 18-year-old. So I feel normal, I feel like I can talk to someone. If I can't, somebody come up to me and go, "Oh, can you send it to James?" And you go, "Now you go, how's it? Yeah, it's spelled James." And I'll say, "How do you spell that again?" Because they know that I'm dyslexic, or I'll say that I'm dyslexic. And I now can look at a word and pick it up, and suddenly I get it, and then I feel good about myself. I can text now, I can spell sweetheart now. So it's little things that made a huge difference in my life. Can I just one thing? Thank you very much for having me, because I do a lot of these things because I want to help adults who are scared to talk about it, children that are scared to talk about it, and you know, don't be scared, be brave, because I wish I was brave. And some people may think they're brave, but I wish when I was 6 years old I could put my hand up and say, you know what, I'm struggling, I need some help. But it wasn't until I was 30 and I needed somebody who I admire heaps to tell me, come on, look at your fears and smash them, because the quicker you smash them, the quicker you can grow. So thanks very much for having me, and if anyone wants to ask any questions, fire away.